Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Football and Travel Show. And on today's episode, I'll be doing my first tier list of the franchise, of the series, of this Euro content. We'll be looking over all 10 host cities of Euro 2024, and I'm going to be putting them into other tiers. So we've got must visit, great city, decent, nothing special, underwhelming. I didn't want to be too harsh with the lower categories. Let's start with Munich. I think this goes into a must visit city. Great footballing city, great historic city overall, a great old town. You have Marienplatz, which is location which offers both the old town, pubs, various places, and even a place where you can get to easily from and to the stadium via its train station. And of course, you can get to Marienplatz easily from a walkable distance from the main train station. And then, of course, there's the option to go to the Oktoberfest Museum too, and great transport as well. Let's go to Stuttgart. Not a city I've really been to. A lot of them I haven't been to, but I've done investigations on all of these cities. To me, well, I think having the Mercedes-Benz museums are one good attraction. The local railway transport looks good as well. I'm also judging this on the journey to the stadium, which that's pretty good as well. I've not looked so much of the main place and the pubs to visit, but it looks to get a lot right, so I'm going to say that's a great city. Frankfurt, well, it stations in a good location. From what I've seen, the local transport's excellent. It's got a great old town as well. You can also go here for the German Film Museum. I think it's got to go very high. And I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and go to must visit city. Cologne, I'm going to put this straight into must visit. This is a city I really like. It's got a great cathedral, great selection of pubs. The sausages are massive, which you may or may not like, especially on the west side of Cologne. I think that's the real highlight for me. And there's even an American sports pub, which is actually not far from one of the stations en route to the Rion Energy Stadion. Get a tram there. But there's also local trains going around Cologne. And then there's also the Sports Arts Museum along the river as well. One of the first cities I visited in Germany, and I think it is great. Dusseldorf, a cultural rival to Cologne, sort of like Liverpool, Manchester. I'm going to put it in decent. One of my favourite parts is that there is a metro station here that you can get off, and within this area there's a variety amount of places to drink, which I think would be great for England fans, German fans, French fans, Danish fans, you name it. It's also a good enough city for Salesforce to base themselves. Transport's decent as well. The nearest train station to the stadium's right outside as well. Gelsenkirchen, this does seem like the worst city of them all. Nothing terrible, but the only really fact I could really get from this is that this was a workers' town, workers' place. Marco, upon doing an overview for the three host cities England will be playing in, it wasn't best in comparison to these others. And upon my investigation via Google Maps, there's not particularly a lot to do. And the station's quite far from the stadium as well, so I'm going to put that in underwhelming, but by no means terrible. Dortmund, well, this has got the National Football Museum, and it's right outside the main train station as well. The old town, it's not really as good as something like Munich, Frankfurt, Cologne, Stuttgart. However, the transport's pretty good, very easy to get to from the main station to the stadium. Two different forms of rail transport, whether it be the U-Bahn, the S-Bahn, maybe even tram as well, though I'm not too sure. And towards the north of the central station, there's a beer museum. I am gonna say Great City. I don't think there's as much character compared to some of the others, but I think it gets all the basics right, and I think income football fans will enjoy it. Hamburg, I'm putting this into must visit. This is another great city. It's the only one here where you can use your Deutsche Bahn ticket to ride on ferries. You got the miniature Wonderland Museum. Being situated towards the north and having harbours, I believe, are close to the sea. The nearest train station isn't exactly the closest, but it's in a reasonable distance. It's a big city with a big variety of things, and I gotta put it in must visit. Leipzig, I'm not gonna put it as high. How high do I go? I'm thinking. Well, one thing it does have that's in common to Gelsenkirchen is it's got one main train station, and by getting there, you need to take the tram or the bus. However, this is a better route because it is closer. 4 different tram routes. It has some fairly exclusive beers as well. Also has an opera house too. So there's some things of interest. I didn't get to see too much on Leipzig from my investigation. I think I'll put it up in decent. And finally, Berlin, the capital city. I think this would be a great place to stay a week in the build up to the final. I know that if France top their group and get to the quarterfinals, they'll play a quarterfinal in Berlin. So if they were successful enough to play in the final, then I think it would be like a great way to spend Saturday to the following weekend to the final for them, and like not and stay in Berlin whilst watching their side play in Dortmund. I think in the summer, yeah, that would be great. This was the most recent city I'd been to out of all these. In Germany, in fact. And even though it was in the winter, so it was pretty good. There's quite a lot to see. The Brandenburg Gate, the Berlin Wall. You could even say the Olympic Stadium, various other things. There's a lot of offers on transport. The airport's towards the south. It's a cash city, which some may not like, others may like. I think overall I would put it into great city. I would say it's better than the other two, Stuttgart and Dortmund. And there's some various offers of pubs and restaurants. And the other thing is on their Bolt rides, it's set up so it's a cash paid system. I think overall it's not quite up there with the 4 I've put in must visit, but I'd say it's definitely fairly close. But there we have it. There it was my tier list on the 10 German host cities. What do you think? What would you say? Your thoughts are welcome. No disrespect is intended to anyone living in these cities. Will you be staying in any of them? Any thoughts below is welcome. The road to Euro 2024 is getting closer, and until the next time, see you in the next video.